there! What is this machine? Anyway, I've been told that if I talk into this, I can set the record straight. There have been tons of stories lately about what us wizards do. Somebody is like, oh, they cast spells on peoples, and some are like, oh, they help people become king, and some are like, stand in a bridge, you shall not pass, or something like that. Let me tell you, we don't do any of that. And I am tired of people telling us what we do and don't do. First off, mostly all we do is we cast spells on each other, and it's funny. And we do it with dice, not with wands. I don't even know why I have this. I don't need it. Anyway, here's a video. Some guy's going to explain to you exactly what it is we do when we're having fun with each other. I think his name is Robert or Blue Bear. I don't know. Anyway, watch this video. Bye.
So here we're taking a look at Tada. Now in Tada, players are going to be trying to compete to complete 6 spells before their fellow wizards. To start, you shuffle up the decks, and each player will take the cup and the matching dice of their color. So in this case, we've already taken the blue player's cup and dice. Next up, each player will draw 2 spells into their hand. Now, these are kept hidden from the other players at the table, and you will have to decide between them for the first round which you are going to try to perform. A feat for the round will be drawn, and this will be a restriction placed on all players at the table while trying to perform to cast a spell. So in this case, we have handcuffs. This one says you must keep one wrist crossed over the other at all times. Now, I'm actually going to set that one aside because for the purposes of this demonstration, that's going to be kind of difficult to show. So we'll pull the next feat. Okay, this next feat is called Knock 3. You must knock the table 3 times each time you lock a die. That's going to be a pretty easy one to do, so we'll set that here. Now, once all players know which feat they're going to do, they must decide which one of these spells that they want to attempt for the round. Again, remember, this is hidden information. But the spells will also have a potential effect if they are the person who succeeds this round. So in the case of the blue player, we have Positivo Premonitiono, and we have Decreus Slumberingo. Now, all of the spells have these cute little O sounds to them. And for the first one, it's next round before rolling dice. You may lock 1 die on any symbol of your choice. That's pretty nice. The other one is to select 1 player and their head must touch the table at all times during the next round. There are going to be spells that if you are successful, you will actually do some hijinks of some sort to another player at the table. For the purposes of this, we're going to select Positivo Premonitiono. And so now each player will place all of their dice into their cup. And once everyone has done that, you will say go. Now, at this point, I'm not going to be able to do it as fast as you would do as frantic. I'm just going to show you how the mechanism itself works. So you will roll your dice, and you need to lock in these symbols. So you get to lock 1 die per roll. So I'm going to roll that, and then all other dice will go in here. And we already broke a rule. This feat states that you must knock the table 3 times each time you lock a die. So when I took this die and I locked it, I must immediately go 1, 2, 3. Then the dice come into the cup, and I roll again. I lock another die, 1, 2, 3. Place everything in the cup. Lock a die, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we will do our last one, which we didn't do. We still didn't do. And we got it. So we will lock the last one, 1, 2, 3. Now once you lock your last one, you immediately flip over your cup and yell Tada, symbolizing everyone to stop in a up to 3 player game because you are the first person. Now in a 4 or 5 player game, the first 2 people to successfully flip over their cup and yell Tada. And in a 6 player game, the first 3 players. At this point, whoever is successful will get to take their card and keep it in their scoring pile, because remember, we are trying to get 6. Anybody who did not complete, that card will be discarded because they were unable to complete it. In addition, the blue player because he did this particular card, gets to, before rolling a dice in the next round, he'll get to lock one die on any symbol of his choice. So if in the next round this was the spell, even before we start rolling, once they say go, I would be able to lock one die on there and then begin my rolls. After this, play moves to a new round, which each player should have one spell card automatically, most likely, and they will draw another one into their hand, and play begins again until somebody has 6 and then they have won this wizarding competition. Now I'm going to just go through a couple of these feats just so you get an idea of the silliness of them. This one is called Chopsticks, and it says that you must pick up dice using only your index and middle finger. So in this case, we would only be able to do this and then put the dice back in the cup with these. Another feat here is one finger. You may only touch the dice with one finger at any time. That would be interesting because that would mean you would have to slide the dice into place and then slide them back into the cup. Another feat here, up, down. You must stand up and sit down after locking each die. So you can see how the feats are going to just add a bit of silliness to the table. And in addition, you're also, these things, if you are the person who was able to complete yours, you're going to add a little more silliness. Since in this one, it's the players that I chose, their head must touch the table at all times next to the round. So we're just looking at a lot of silliness in a lot of frantically rolling dice. So that's a look at Tada, a silly game. I'm not gonna say that it's not. It's not an overly serious game. There's not a lot of decision making. There's a little bit in it in terms of deciding which spell to do, but in reality, I don't think that one spell's harder than another spell. Maybe the ones that have 5 dice are harder than 4 dice. And there's a little bit of a decision making if you are a person who successfully does one of those spells that has an effect on it, of who you're going to play that effect on. But overall, it's just a racing game where you're rolling dice, you're putting in a cup, everyone's laughing at the table. Sometimes you gotta do like the little chopsticks to pick it up. Maybe you gotta keep a hand behind your back. Little things like that. But if you go in with what the game was meant to be, and that is don't take it serious, just enjoy yourselves, you're gonna find there's a lot of fun in the box. The dice are really nice. The cups are surprisingly really well for what's in the box. They are the reason why the box is as large as it is. It didn't need to be. But overall, the game is a blast for, I would say, probably at least 3 wizards at the table. I would probably try to play this with as many people as you can, so up to the 6. Also, I think that might actually add a little more strategy to the game that has none to speak of in some respects, in that with more people, then more people successfully complete their spells. Therefore, there's a little more of a strategy involved in deciding who at the table is going to get those effects. Again, just take the game for what it is, and you will have a fantastic time playing it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at Tada, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Can we turn the camera off? That'd be great. So, it's a little awkward. Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.